That boy who used to spend days in the garage with only his imagination and a couple hand tools has gotten lost in the grind of the real world. I think it's time we find him. Today's woodworking projects are simple, scrap wood ideas leveled up. Like everyone, I get rushed, trying to get things done and on to the next project. And I lose the real reason I'm out in the shop to begin with, why I am building, creating, designing, and so I'm purposely slowing it down a little today. I want to enjoy these builds and not just rush through it trying to get to the next one. Taking the time, adding those little details that separates us from the box store crap that floods the markets. Hand mixing your orange because deep down you know the orange you sprayed on is far too neon for an actual pumpkin. And creating something that is a little different, a little bit of you. Now, we've ripped some 3/4 inch ply down to 8-inch squares. This is probably the first time I've used plywood on this channel, but it's perfect here, and I have the scraps. I'm just giving them a quick sanding with the Wendigo, 120 grit. Question for you though. For those of you who have benchtop sanders, do you really change your grit all the time? Or do you just leave a medium in most of the time? I want to give these a little bit of distressing. So I used a watered down brown acrylic as a base coat. And I'm thinking I grabbed the wrong brown, or maybe I should have put a little black in it to dirty it up. It's going to be covered so it won't be an issue, but nowhere near as nice as the crate came out a couple weeks ago. I'll probably never match that aged brown again. So now we need frames on it. I'm going with 3/4 inch thickness. That's a no-brainer. It's factory. The only real question is, how far do we want the frame to stick out? I run through 3 quick options and settle on 1.5 inches. With the backing being a 1/2 inch, it gives us a perfect depth of 1 inch. Back to the table saw, we set our fence to 3/4 of an inch and rip slats from some 2x4s. Then cut them at the miter saw, stacking them 2 at a time. I'm making 4 of these, so I need 8 at 8 inches and 8 at 9.5. Now, these little shadow boxes are going to be rustic, so I think a box joint is the way to go. A little test fit and an idea popped into my head for the 4th one. I'm thinking of thin slats for a certain look, and since I never throw anything away, I have these sliver offcuts from 2x4s, and I think they'll work perfectly. A quick hit at the miter saw in the wen. I want to exaggerate the edges, making a nice large round over. I'm thinking that it will look like the sections on a pumpkin when it's grouped together. I hope. Those sanded smooth, we grab the frames and hit them up as well. Not going for perfect here either, but not wanting splinters. I'm going to try and keep all the edges crisp, so no roundovers on these pieces. I'm not really sure why, it's just a gut feeling. Some Type Bond 3 on one of the backer pieces. Yeah, I guess I didn't need to stain all 4, did I? I glue the thin slats down, weight them and let them dry. Then I move over to painting the other backs. I hit the edges with a candle, hoping the wax will help distress the paint a little. Then hand mix some plaster of Paris into a sloppy chalk paint. The orange and green are a little bright, so I darken as I go, sneaking some black in here and there. Now, my inspiration for these came from a shadow box with fall sayings in it. Something like, fall, y'all. I like the colors and the lines of the piece, but found out it was an MDF backing and vinyl printing, and it really threw me for a loop. When I think handcrafted, I don't think MDF, and I don't think vinyl on a wood project. So, I'm going to at least try and stencil it on. And the others? Well, I have a couple crazy ideas that honestly I'm not sure will work out. But first, I apply some golden oak stain to all the frames. Now, I'm not sure you can see this, but I'm reusing my gloves. Not just because I'm cheap, I am, and I don't like to waste things, but they're dirty. And here, it's a godsend because they still have some black on them from my potpourri box from Sunday. And they smudge my boards, adding to the distressed look I'm going for. I love it. Not all accidents are bad. And I've started to count on this one happening over and over. Everything dried, I give the backs a quick sand down, breaking the paint free from the wax, creating just a little bit of wear. Assembly is simple. I'll show you on one of them, glue and nails. I don't build them all yet. For the stencil ones, I wait until I'm done stenciling, then build them. So, on Monday, I had this crazy idea and I took my dog for a walk, gathering bright colored leaves from the trees, not the wrinkled on the ground. Now, it's a little early and the colors are not so vibrant as they will be in a week, but the idea is to make a mini fall scene in one of the boxes. Instead of saying fall y'all, I want to show it. I flattened the leaves between some sheets of parchment paper, left over from an Amazon delivery, I'm certain, then leave them overnight under a heavy weight. In the morning, I seal them with 4 coats of Mod Podge to lock in the color. Now, I used matte, and it still looks a little plasticky to me. I've read that the best way to do this is Krylon archival spray, and the coat will not be as heavy, and it should keep the leaves fresh for 4 years or more. Beyond that, you could do epoxy and it might last forever. But where's the fun in that? Walking the dog and getting out in the fresh air is half the fun. The next one, I'm going with an oak scene, a little branch, a couple oak leaves, and some acorns. I dried them in the oven on 200 degrees for about 15 minutes to get rid of any bugs and stop them from rotting. So, the slatted one, I painted it with a little off-white, and now I'm going to paint an orange pumpkin on it. I'm not 100% sure of what I'm doing here. It's going to be a jack-o'-lantern, but I don't have a stem. I have this little bit crazy idea that maybe we can put a stem on top of the box. The things that make you go, Now the black one. I'm thinking trick or treat. I printed this cool little stencil from my Cricut, and I'll just dab on some white paint. I love handmade items that look it, but I feel it should be more than just I threw it together in 5 minutes, and more like, hey, check this out. I did this, and this, and look here. In other words, don't get so caught up in the profit and forget about the product. All right, project 2, 3, or 4. Depends on how many you count the shadow boxes, I guess. I'm calling it 3. I have some pallet wood. All nails are removed, and what I love about this board is the live edge. I think it'll add so much to this piece. At the miter saw, I cut 2 12-inch pieces and ripped them nearly in half to create slats. But when I lay them out, I realized that I don't want 4 slats. I only want 3. And the one I have in the middle is too narrow. So I rip another one a little wider. I make this one at 13 inches long and trace out the beginning of a pumpkin. Now you can see why I was so excited about the live edge look. It plays right into the pumpkin shape. These are the little things that separate this one piece from any other. It's truly one of a kind. Now, I don't want just a pumpkin. I'm thinking a black cat in front of the pumpkin. I traced the doorstop cat from my doorstop video, and I think it'll be perfect, although I'm only going to keep it 1 layer. I pull the scroll saw out and cut the pieces. Then hit them with the bench top quickly, wanting to keep the pumpkin boards rough but a little smoother on the cat. Taking a couple scrap slats about 1/4 inch thick, I glue and staple them on back, leaving a little gap, roughly 1/4 inch between the slats. Now, the cat gets hit with the candle on the edges to help with the slight distressing it would get. And just straight black chalk paint. I like my darker pieces to have a more pale or brighter contrast when I sand the edges over, so I don't dirty the layer beneath. But now the pumpkin, it's getting dirt. Watered down brown acrylic. I use the right brown this time, add a little black, and just free falling into it. No rhyme, no reason, darker here, lighter there. After it dries, it gets the same candle treatment. And then I hit the pumpkin up with an orange hand mixed chalk paint. It's bright, so I put some black in to dull it down, and then put a touch of red in. Liking that? Well, actually loving it. I gain a little confidence and add some yellow. And I have a beautiful sunset of a pumpkin. I just hope it dries that way. I drill a hole in the top, and my drill bit wanders all over the place despite having set it. So I regroup and use a step drill bit, and it works beautifully. I went purposely smaller here, so not to blow out the sides of the slat. And now I take the stem, and then we whittle it just a little bit and glue it in. And here we are. I love these, and I hope it shows. I think that's what handmade is supposed to be about. That little bit more, a little extra. If you like this and are looking for more fall and Halloween builds to level up your fall decor, be sure to click my fall build list floating around here. So, which one is your favorite? Going to try any of them? As always, thank you for watching and choosing to spend 15 minutes building with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next time.